There's a silence before every divine revelation. A stillness before God speaks. And if you're watching this right now, it's not by chance. Heaven has aligned this exact moment for you. You didn't stumble here by accident. You were led. The Spirit of God says, you have been asking questions that your heart couldn't yet handle the answers to. You've been praying for light, but didn't realize that sometimes, the light exposes what you were never meant to keep. There are moments in life when heaven stops waiting. Moments when God looks upon his child and says, now, they're ready. Ready to see what they couldn't see before. Ready to hear what they once ignored. Ready to understand why the pain, the silence, the rejection, the delay, had to happen exactly the way it did. You have walked through shadows, questioning why it felt so dark. Not realizing the darkness was never a punishment, it was preparation. You've cried in the night, thinking heaven forgot your name. But even in your tears, God was whispering, hold on. I'm still here. I'm working behind what you can't yet see. This is not an ordinary message. This is not another random video with nice words or gentle motivation. This is a divine appointment. Because God says, you are now ready to hear the bitter truth. And this truth will open your eyes to things that have been hidden for far too long. It may sting. It may challenge you. It may even make you question everything you thought you understood about the season you're in. But when truth comes from the lips of God, it doesn't destroy you. It delivers you. Heaven has seen your struggle. Heaven has watched the people who hurt you, the ones who pretended to love you but were silently jealous of your light. Heaven saw the nights you stayed awake asking, God, why did you let this happen to me? And God says, because you couldn't see what I saw. Because I needed to break your dependence on what was breaking your destiny. There are some truths that only pain can teach. And there are some transformations that only heartbreak can unlock. You've been saying, Lord, I'm ready for my breakthrough. But heaven responds, my child, are you ready for the truth that comes before the breakthrough? Because before the blessing, comes the breaking. Before the promise, comes the process. Before the restoration, comes the revelation. The truth is not always what you want to hear, but it's always what your spirit needs. And right now, your spirit is awakening. You may feel chills as you listen. You may feel tears begin to rise. You may even feel something inside you stirring. That's the Holy Spirit confirming this is for you. You've come to a crossroads. You've come to the edge of something new. And God says, now, I can tell them what I couldn't tell them before. When God prepares to release a word like this, it means your time of blindness is ending. Your time of confusion is coming to a close. You've graduated from merely surviving to understanding. So don't look away. Don't scroll past this. Don't let your fear of what might be said make you miss what heaven is trying to reveal. Because very soon, those who ignored this message, those who mocked your faith, those who thought your obedience was weakness, they will cry when they realize what you knew all along. That the hand of God was on you. Beloved child of God. Every storm you faced, every betrayal you endured, every tear you cried, was preparing you for this divine revelation. You didn't lose that relationship by accident. You didn't face that rejection without reason. You didn't walk through that wilderness for nothing. God says, I needed to separate you, so I could speak to you. Because the voices around you were too loud, and mine was being drowned out. And now that you're alone, now that your heart is softer, now that you're tired of pretending to be okay, God says, now I can tell you the truth that will set you free. This message may be the key to understanding everything that has confused you for months, maybe even years. Because the bitter truth you're about to hear will open the door to the sweetest blessing you've ever known. And before we continue, take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. and whisper, God, speak to me. I am ready. Now, prepare yourself. Clear your mind. Because this is not entertainment, this is revelation. God has chosen this moment to speak directly to your soul. And when the Almighty speaks, the atmosphere shifts. Chains begin to break. Truth pierces through confusion. And your destiny begins to awaken. So stay with me. Let every word reach deep into your heart. Because very soon, you will understand why you had to endure everything that once broke you. And before we begin, if you believe in the power of divine timing, if you believe that this message reached you for a reason, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so that this message can touch more hearts and awaken more souls across the world. Now, let us begin. Because God says, you are now ready to hear the bitter truth. Part 1, The Bitter Truth Revealed. Expanded, under 1,000 words, written in engaging narration style for your YouTube video. God says, you have been asking me to reveal the truth, but you were not ready to face what it would show you. You prayed for light, yet when light comes, it not only reveals what's ahead, it also exposes what was hidden behind. You see, my child, the truth is not always gentle. Sometimes it shakes the very ground you stand on. Sometimes it breaks the illusions you built to protect your heart. But I cannot bless what you keep pretending not to see. You asked me, Lord, why are things falling apart? And I say to you, they were never built on truth. You asked me, why did this person leave me? And I say, because they could not walk the road I have called you to. Not everyone who starts with you is meant to stay with you. Some were only part of your preparation, not your destination. The bitter truth is that some of the people you called friends were only comfortable with your weakness, not your strength. They loved you as long as you stayed small, as long as your light didn't challenge their darkness. The moment you began to grow, they felt threatened. But hear me now, I removed them to protect you. They were never assigned to your future, they were attached to your past. And every time you tried to keep them, you delayed your next chapter. I know you didn't understand it at the time. You thought it was rejection. You thought it was punishment. But it was redirection. Every closed door was me saying, I have better. Every unanswered prayer was me saying, not yet. And every ending that broke your heart was my way of saying, this is not your forever. You see, my beloved, I am not just the God who gives, I am also the God who removes. And when I remove something from your life, it is never to hurt you. It is to heal you from what you cannot see. You prayed for peace, but I had to expose the source of your chaos first. You asked for strength, but I had to strip away what was draining you. You prayed for growth, but growth cannot happen in the soil of denial. That's why things began to fall apart. Not because you failed, but because I was answering your prayer. Child, the truth is, you were holding on to people, places, and plans that could not go where I am taking you. And if I hadn't allowed them to fall away, they would have pulled you off the path I designed for you before you were born. You've been saying, God, everything is changing. And I say, yes, because you are changing. The person you are becoming cannot fit in the same spaces you once occupied. Your spirit is outgrowing the cage your comfort built. And I can't let you stay where you no longer belong. That's why I had to let you see who was real and who was only near you for what you carried. That's why I had to let you feel the sting of betrayal, because your discernment was too soft. You trusted words more than actions. You trusted appearances more than the quiet voice inside your heart. But now, your eyes are opening. Now you can tell the difference between what looks good and what is God. The bitter truth is this. Some of what you called answered prayers were actually distractions dressed as blessings. And I couldn't allow them to continue, because they would have taken you further from your purpose. You cried when I took them away, but you didn't realize that what you lost was not meant to last. What I remove today, I replace tomorrow. with something better, purer, and aligned with your destiny. You thought I was breaking your heart. But I was saving your soul. Show your support for divine messages, like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to our channel to receive more encouragement, hope, and heavenly insight every week. Listen, my child. Pain is not proof that I've abandoned you. It's evidence that I'm performing surgery on your spirit. I cut away what's poisonous before it destroys the good within you. Every tear you cried was watering the roots of your next blessing. Every lonely night was shaping your strength. Every disappointment was teaching you discernment. Do not be angry about what didn't work out. Be grateful that I stopped it before it destroyed you. You've been saying, God, I don't understand why it had to happen this way. And I say, because you would not have moved if I didn't make it uncomfortable. Sometimes, I allow the pain to push you where peace would not. I let the rejection reveal what your intuition already sensed. I let people leave so your dependence on me could grow deeper. You thought you needed them, but all along, you only needed me. Now the truth stands before you, and I say again. You are ready. Ready to see yourself the way I see you. Ready to let go of what you thought was love but was actually distraction. Ready to rise above the opinions of those who never understood your calling. For too long, you have been apologizing for your light. You have dimmed yourself to make others comfortable. You have stayed quiet when your spirit wanted to roar. But this is the moment where I remove the veil from your eyes. The moment where you finally understand that the losses were not setbacks, they were setups. Everything that broke you was actually building you. Everything that fell apart was falling into place. The truth may be bitter, but it's holy. It purifies. It transforms. It makes you free. You prayed for me to change your circumstances. But now I reveal, I was changing you first. Because when you change, everything connected to you must also shift. And now, what once hurt you will no longer have power over you. What once held you down will release you. What once blinded you will become the very lesson that brings you into wisdom. So, my child, lift your head. Wipe your tears. The bitter truth was not meant to destroy your heart, it was meant to prepare your crown. This is the beginning of revelation. The start of seeing things as they truly are, not as your pain painted them. You are not being punished. You are being purified. And soon, you will see that everything I removed was only making room for everything I promised. God says, there's a reason you've been feeling invisible. A reason why no one seems to notice the effort you're putting in. Why doors that should have opened stayed closed. Why people you thought would support you turned silent. It's not because you're forgotten. It's because I hid you. Yes, my child, I covered you, not as a curse, but as a shield. I tucked you beneath my wings, away from eyes that weren't ready to see what I was building in you. While you thought you were being overlooked, I was actually protecting your becoming. I hid you because you were still fragile. I hid you because premature exposure could have destroyed what I was forming inside you. I hid you because not everyone deserves access to your preparation process. You asked me, Lord, why am I not being recognized? Why does it feel like nobody values what I bring? And I said, because your value is not meant to be measured by human approval. It's being defined by divine purpose. I couldn't allow the wrong people to celebrate you prematurely. They would have used your gift for their glory and left you empty. So I hid you to preserve your purity, your focus, your anointing, your authenticity. While others were being seen, I was shaping you in the secret place. While others were being celebrated, I was carving character in you. While others were building platforms, I was building roots deep within your soul. You thought silence meant delay. But silence is where I do my most powerful work. When you feel hidden, understand this, heaven is still active. Behind every quiet season, I am rearranging, refining, and rebuilding the foundation beneath your calling. I didn't hide you to punish you, I hid you to protect the promise. Because I knew that the next season of your life would require strength that only solitude could birth. Do you remember David? Before he became king, he was hidden in the fields, away from applause and attention. He learned my voice in the sound of the wind. He fought lions and bears when no one was watching. And because of those secret victories, he was ready to face Goliath when the moment came. So don't despise your hidden season. Don't curse your quiet time. This is the field where I'm teaching you how to fight, how to trust, and how to listen. When I hide you, it means I am sanctifying you. I am pulling you away from what's common so I can mold you into something uncommon. Because what I've placed inside you cannot survive in ordinary environments. I needed to remove the noise, so you could hear my whisper. I needed to strip away distractions, so you could learn to depend on me alone. You said, "Lord, why does it feel like no one understands me?" And I said, because they're not meant to. I'm doing something in you that only you and I can understand. You see, my child, elevation comes after isolation. And isolation is not rejection, it's invitation. An invitation to deeper intimacy with me. An invitation to find joy not in being seen, but in being chosen. The world celebrates visibility, but heaven celebrates faithfulness in the unseen. While you've been hidden, I've been preparing you to carry more. More wisdom, more discernment, more strength. You've been stretched in silence so you can stand in storms. And when I finally reveal you, people will think it happened overnight. But they won't see the years of refining that took place in the dark. They'll see the crown, but they won't see the crushing that formed it. They'll see your light, but they won't see the nights you cried on the floor asking me to guide you. They'll see your success, but they won't see your surrender. That's why I hid you. Because if they saw you too soon, they would have judged your process without understanding your purpose. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, share it with others, and subscribe so you can continue receiving life-changing messages and blessings from God. Listen carefully. When I hide you, I'm not removing you from destiny. I'm positioning you for it. Just because others are moving faster doesn't mean they're moving in my will. Some are running ahead without me. But you are walking in divine timing. You feel behind, but you're right on schedule. You feel unseen, but I'm watching every step. You feel like you've lost momentum, but you've actually been gaining spiritual power. Every quiet month has been training your spirit to hold more light. Every delay has been teaching you patience, humility, and trust. And when your moment arrives, you won't crumble under the weight of success. Because the silence taught you how to stand when no one claps. Remember, Moses was hidden as a baby before he led my people to freedom. Joseph was hidden in prison before he became second to Pharaoh. Esther was hidden in the palace before she saved her nation. Jesus himself was hidden for 30 years before his public ministry began. So why are you afraid of being hidden? If I hid my greatest servants, why wouldn't I do the same for you? The hidden season is holy. It's sacred ground between you and me. This is the time where I strip away your dependence on validation. Where I remind you that your worth is not in likes, applause, or followers, but in the quiet assurance that I am with you. So be still. Be patient. Don't rush what I'm perfecting. Because when the time comes, I won't just reveal you, I will reveal myself through you. You won't have to beg for opportunities. Doors will open on their own. You won't have to prove your worth. Your presence will carry my power. And every person who doubted you, every voice that said you weren't enough, will stand in awe of what I did in your hidden season. They will say, "Where did this strength come from? Where did this peace, this wisdom, this glow come from?" And you will simply say, "It was the Lord. He hid me until I was ready." So don't mistake silence for absence. Don't mistake waiting for wasting. Don't mistake hiding for forgetting. I hide you because I love you too much to expose you before you're ready. I hide you because I'm refining your fire. I hide you because I'm shaping your destiny in the dark. So that when I finally bring you into the light, you'll shine with a glory that no man can dim. So hold on. Stay faithful. Keep praying, keep growing, keep trusting. Because soon, very soon, the hidden one will be revealed. And every eye will see that my hand was upon you all along. You will rise from obscurity into overflow. You will step out of waiting into witnessing. You will realize that I never hid you to hold you back. I hid you to prepare your moment of divine unveiling. And when that moment comes, nothing and no one will be able to stop what I have set in motion. God says, now that you have obeyed, now that your heart has surrendered and your faith has been tested, it is time for you to see what happens after obedience. You thought the battle was to break you, but it was to prepare you. You thought the waiting meant I had forgotten, but it meant I was aligning everything perfectly in your favor. You thought I was silent, but I was speaking through every delay, every closed door, and every quiet night. Now, my child, heaven is responding. Your obedience has sent a signal to the throne room. The sound of your yes has reached the heavens, and angels are now being released on assignment to deliver what I promised you. The spiritual gates that were once closed are opening. The chains that bound you are shattering. The forces that resisted you are being overruled by divine decree. You are stepping into a divine release. You have been faithful in obscurity, and now I will reward you in the open. Do you remember when I told you to trust me even when nothing made sense? That trust was the seed, and now the harvest has begun. Every tear watered it. Every prayer nurtured it. Every act of obedience brought it to life. This is the season of divine manifestation. What was unseen will now be seen. What was delayed will now be delivered. What was broken will now be rebuilt stronger than before. You will begin to see divine reversals, moments where the very things that once worked against you start working for you. The rejection you faced will become redirection into opportunity. The people who walked away will be replaced by those divinely assigned to your destiny. The place where you once cried will become the place where you rejoice. Because when I restore, I do not return you to where you were, I elevate you beyond what you lost. You've been through seasons where nothing made sense. You felt misunderstood, overlooked, even betrayed. But what you didn't see was that every moment of pain was building spiritual muscle inside you. You grew when you could have given up. You worshipped when you could have worried. You trusted when you didn't have proof. And now I will show you that faith is never wasted. When Abraham obeyed me, I gave him Isaac, the promise. When Joseph endured betrayal, I gave him authority in Egypt, the promotion. When Ruth followed my leading, I gave her Boaz, the divine partnership. And when you obeyed me, I wrote your name on a season of miracles that cannot be reversed by man. The enemy tried to convince you that obedience would lead to loss. But you will soon see that obedience has led you straight into overflow. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Your work is being recognized in places your feet haven't yet touched. I am moving hearts, opening minds, and aligning circumstances, all for your good. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is my hand moving in your favor. Because you trusted me in silence, I will trust you with visibility. Because you stood when you felt weary, I will place you where your light will reach nations. Because you obeyed even when no one understood, I will cause people to witness the fruit of your faith. Listen, my child, this next season of your life will not require striving. It will require receiving. You've fought long enough. Now, I fight for you. You've prayed through closed doors. Now, I open them wide. You've waited for alignment. Now, I bring everything together at once. People, opportunities, timing, resources, all converging into destiny. Do not worry about how it will happen, simply stay aligned and watch me fulfill what I promised. For years, you've been planting seeds in faith. You've spoken words of hope when everything looked barren. Now, suddenly, what seemed dead will bloom. The ground that once produced nothing will yield abundance. This is a divine turnaround, the kind that happens when heaven says, "Enough waiting." I am releasing financial blessings, not as random fortune, but as a reward for your faithfulness. I am restoring relationships, not to bring back the past, but to reconnect you to divine purpose. I am healing your body and mind, not because you asked again and again, but because now you finally believe that I can. What you endured in the valley prepared you for visibility on the mountain. But hear me, this visibility is not about fame, it's about influence. You will be a carrier of light. People will look at your story and say, "Surely, God was with them." That's why the process was so painful, because the platform I'm giving you is so powerful. You're not just being elevated for yourself, you're being elevated for impact. Your voice will carry healing. Your words will restore hope. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Every moment of obedience has positioned you to walk in divine authority. The things that used to intimidate you will no longer move you. The people who once doubted you will watch in awe. The fear that used to stop you will turn into faith that fuels you. Because now, you know who walks beside you. You will look back and say, every delay was direction. Every test was training. Every heartbreak was holy. Nothing was wasted. Everything worked together for your good. This is the time where I restore sevenfold what was stolen. Everything the enemy tried to take, your peace, your joy, your confidence, your time, I am returning it multiplied. Your spirit will no longer feel heavy, it will feel renewed. Your steps will no longer feel unsure, they will be guided. Your future will no longer feel uncertain, it will be overflowing with divine purpose. You will step into places that once intimidated you with boldness and grace. You will find yourself surrounded by favor that doesn't make sense. You will witness prayers answered back to back, not because you earned it, but because obedience opened the floodgates. And I say this to you, what's coming next will feel too good to be true. But it's true because I spoke it. And when I speak, it must come to pass. Every promise I've whispered to your heart, the one you thought was forgotten, is still alive, and now it's time for manifestation. The waiting season is ending. The testing season is closing. The reaping season is here. Yes, my child, this is your time of divine elevation. You will rise, not because of connections, but because of my covenant. You will shine, not because of luck, but because of my light upon you. And when you stand in your new season, remember, it wasn't your strength that brought you here, it was your surrender. You didn't climb your way up, you trusted your way through. And because of that, no man can take the credit for your success. So walk boldly now. Step into every room I open. Speak with confidence. Love without fear. Create without hesitation. Move as one who knows that heaven backs every step. The tests you endured are now turning into testimonies. The pain that humbled you is now birthing purpose that will empower others. You are the evidence that obedience changes everything. And I will not only bless you, I will use you to bless others. You will be the reason someone else believes again. Your story will awaken faith in those who've given up. Your testimony will open the eyes of those who thought they were forgotten. Because this is not just your reward, it's your assignment. The blessing after the test is not just prosperity, it's power with purpose. I didn't just bring you through to make your life easier. I brought you through to make your life useful for my kingdom. You will stand in places you once only dreamed of. You will meet people whose hearts are hungry for hope. You will speak life into broken souls. And every time you do, heaven will echo through your words, because you carry my glory now. You've passed the test. You've proven faithful. Now, it's time to live in fulfillment. No more anxiety about what's next. No more questioning if you're enough. No more comparing your journey to others. You are walking in divine rhythm now, a flow that no storm can disrupt, a peace that no enemy can steal. So rejoice, beloved. Lift your eyes, your redemption has drawn near. Your story is changing before your eyes. Your breakthrough is not coming, it's here. You have entered the season where obedience meets abundance. Where faith meets fulfillment. Where pain meets purpose. The heavens have spoken, well done, my child. God says. Now that you have seen the shift. Now that obedience has unlocked blessings. It is time to guard what I have given you. For every season of breakthrough comes with a responsibility. Not just to receive, but to protect. The enemy does not celebrate your obedience, he fears it. He knows that what I release to my faithful cannot be taken lightly. So, he will attempt to sow doubt, distraction, and division. He will whisper lies that make you question your worth, your calling, and your blessing. But hear me clearly, your obedience has positioned you above his reach. His schemes cannot prevail unless you allow them. This is why vigilance is now required. The first way to guard your blessing is through prayer and thanksgiving. Never underestimate the power of consistent communion with me. The same voice that guided you through the hidden seasons now speaks in your new season. When you take time to listen, your heart remains aligned. When you speak gratitude, your spirit remains fortified. Many of my children receive breakthroughs but lose peace because they fail to remain connected to me. Remember, your blessing is a sacred deposit, not a reward for self-sufficiency. The second way to protect your blessing is through discernment. Not everyone who enters your life has good intentions. Not every opportunity aligns with your divine purpose. You must learn to distinguish between what I ordain and what the enemy disguises as blessing. Some will bring temptation. Some will bring distraction. Some will bring fear disguised as concern. Do not allow their words to sway you. Do not allow their doubts to become your own. Stay rooted in my word. Stay grounded in my promises. Stay guided by my spirit. The third way to guard your blessing is through humility. Even in your new elevation, remember your beginning. Remember the hidden seasons where no one applauded you. Remember the nights you cried on the floor, trusting me alone. Pride can blind you to my continued guidance. Arrogance can make you a target for the enemy. Humility keeps you connected to me and shields you from the lies of the world. The fourth way to protect your breakthrough is through generosity. The blessing is never meant to be hoarded. It is meant to be a conduit for my kingdom. When you give, even in small ways, you release favor in return. When you bless others, you secure your own blessing. What you sow in obedience, you reap in multiplication. The fifth way to guard your blessing is through discerned companionship. Choose carefully who walks with you in this season. Surround yourself with those who support your purpose. Those who encourage your faith. Those who remind you of your covenant with me. The wrong companionship can quietly drain your blessing, introducing doubt, gossip, or distraction. Choose wisely, and your environment will become a sanctuary for growth. The sixth way to protect your blessing is through continued obedience. Receiving a blessing is not the final step, walking faithfully in it is. Do not think that elevation releases you from responsibility. Your obedience must remain active. Your trust must remain steadfast. Every act of faith, no matter how small, strengthens your position. Every alignment with my spirit fortifies your progress. Every choice to walk in righteousness keeps the enemy powerless over your life. Now, let me tell you the truth about peace in the new season. Many will receive the blessing but lose the joy. Many will gain the favor but become anxious about its longevity. But you are called to sustained peace. Sustained peace comes from the awareness that I am with you in every circumstance. Sustained peace comes from the recognition that your life is under my sovereign control. Sustained peace comes from trusting that no attack, no delay, no human interference can derail what I have ordained. Your peace is a weapon. Your calmness in the storm silences the enemy. Your confidence in my promises opens doors that were previously closed. This is why I tell you, stand firm. Do not allow the weight of the world to press you down. Do not let fear or comparison steal the joy of your victory. What I have given you is a deposit of heaven itself. And heaven cannot be undermined by earthly circumstances. Understand, my child, every blessing you receive carries spiritual weight. It is not just material or visible, it is divine energy flowing through your life. And just as you guard a treasure, you must guard the flow of my spirit within you. Here's how you continue to walk in alignment. Daily connection. Begin each day with me, even before you touch the world. Read, pray, meditate, and hear my voice. This keeps you in sync with the divine rhythm. Intentional living. Live deliberately. Your words, actions, and thoughts must reflect your covenant with me. Avoid distractions that seek to derail your focus. Seek my wisdom before making decisions. Spiritual vigilance. Recognize that the enemy will try to disrupt your peace. He will attempt to make you doubt your faith, your purpose, or the integrity of your blessings. Resist him through prayer, scripture, and confident trust in me. Community and counsel. Stay close to those I've placed as mentors, guides, or supportive companions. Let their wisdom keep you anchored and your steps aligned. Generosity and gratitude. Bless others, speak gratitude, and honor me with your resources. This strengthens the flow of heaven in your life. Faith in the unseen. Even when challenges arise, remember, what is unseen carries the greatest power. Trust that I am moving in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Remember, my child, the blessing is not simply for enjoyment. It is a responsibility. It is a charge to walk with integrity, courage, and unwavering faith. Those who fail to guard their blessings often find them slipping through their fingers. Not because I withdrew favor, but because they neglected what I entrusted to them. Your role is not passive. Your faith must be active. Your obedience must continue. Your heart must remain soft, humble, and aligned. When you do this, you will experience sustained divine alignment. Doors will continue to open. Favor will multiply. Peace will guard your heart. Joy will overflow in your life. And the world will witness a life that is not defined by struggle, but by the power of obedience, faith, and trust in me. This is the fullness of the season I am giving you. The hidden tears have turned into songs of victory. The silent prayers have turned into public miracles. The doubts have turned into declarations of faith. And the brokenness has been transformed into divine purpose. So, guard this season, my child. Protect it with prayer. Protect it with discernment. Protect it with humility, generosity, and continued obedience. Because the enemy will attempt to take what is rightfully yours. But you are not unaware of his schemes. You are not unprepared for his attacks. You are anchored in my spirit. Surrounded by angels. Protected by the covenant of your obedience. Stand firm. Walk boldly. Speak with authority. Your peace is invincible. Your favor is unstoppable. Your destiny is secure. Heaven is with you. I am with you. Nothing can separate you from what I have promised. So rejoice, my beloved, and continue walking in alignment. The blessings you've received are just the beginning. The testimony you are building will echo through generations. And your life will shine as evidence that God always fulfills His promises. For those who obey, trust, and guard what He gives. God says, now that you have walked through the hidden season, now that you have endured the breaking, now that you have guarded your blessing, it is time to behold the full revelation of what I've been preparing for you all along. For years, you thought you were simply surviving storms. But I tell you, child, you were being sculpted for glory. Every tear that fell in secret watered a promise. Every loss that cut your heart cleared the path for divine replacement. Every delay that frustrated you was preparing you for a harvest you could sustain. And now, I say, you have crossed into inheritance season. You are no longer standing outside the gate wondering if I've heard you. You are walking through the very door that years of prayer have unlocked. You are stepping into answered prayers you once thought were forgotten. You are stepping into divine partnerships, restored relationships, open opportunities, all aligned with my perfect timing. But listen closely, this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of divine impact. You see, my purpose was never just to bless you, it was to make you a vessel of blessing. I have not just restored what was lost, I have transformed you into someone capable of stewarding my glory. You are no longer the same person who once doubted, who once feared, who once begged for signs. Now, you walk in revelation. You understand that I am faithful even in silence. You understand that obedience unlocks destiny. You understand that every no carried hidden mercy, and every wait was protection from premature promotion. Now I am calling you higher. You are no longer just a believer, you are a carrier of divine authority. I have placed my word in your mouth. When you speak now, heaven moves. When you pray, the atmosphere shifts. When you walk, darkness trembles, because you no longer walk alone. This is your kingdom identity, you are a child of the Most High, an ambassador of light, a witness of my faithfulness, and a vessel of unstoppable grace. Do you see it now? All those lonely nights were not punishment, they were consecration. All those silent years were not neglect, they were divine training. All those delays were not denials, they were sacred alignments. I was never late, I was building your foundation so the weight of my promise wouldn't crush you. And now, what you carry is not fragile, it is eternal. Your testimony will not fade with time. Your light will not dim under pressure. Your faith will not waver when storms rise again. Because now you know, I am in every storm, every silence, every shadow. You will see the fruit of your faithfulness. You will watch doors open without effort. You will witness how those who once dismissed you will now come to learn from you. You will see that everything the enemy meant for harm has been converted into fuel for destiny. The rejection that once broke you will become the reason you were chosen. The pain that once silenced you will become the message that heals others. The wounds that once defined you will now shine as proof of resurrection power. You will not only receive blessings, you will become one. Wherever you go, my presence will follow. Wherever you speak, my word will echo. Wherever you build, my hand will multiply. You will no longer chase what I have already prepared. You will attract it through alignment. You will magnetize favor through faith. You will live in such peace that even chaos will bow to your atmosphere. This is the divine exchange, the season where prayers turn into presence, and presence turns into power. I have anointed you for influence, not worldly influence, but kingdom influence. Your light will touch people you've never met. Your words will reach hearts across nations. Your testimony will set others free, for it carries the fragrance of deliverance, restoration, and truth. You once said, God, why me? And I replied, because you were willing to be refined when others refused. You stood when you could have given up. You believed when logic said it was impossible. You trusted me when you had no proof but my word. And because of that, I now trust you with more favor, more wisdom, more influence, more authority. But listen carefully, this new level requires a deeper humility. Stay anchored in me, for promotion without presence becomes destruction. You are not elevated to boast, but to build. You are not blessed to compete, but to complete my purpose on earth. When I lift you up, lift others. When I bless you, become a blessing. When I open doors, bring light through them. For the inheritance I give you is not just wealth, but responsibility. Your reward is not only in what you receive, it is in the impact you leave. Souls will come to know me through your story. Hearts will heal through your words. Families will be restored because you chose to walk in forgiveness. Yes, my child, forgiveness is part of your inheritance. Let go of the last fragments of bitterness. Do not carry resentment into this next dimension. You cannot hold the hand of destiny while gripping the pain of the past. Release them, not because they were right, but because you deserve peace. Forgive them, not to excuse their actions, but to set your spirit free from the prison of replayed pain. Your destiny requires both clean hands and a pure heart. And I am purifying you even now as you hear these words. This is the season where peace becomes your foundation, and love becomes your weapon. I will cause those who mocked you to witness your manifestation. Not as revenge, but as revelation. For they will see that I was with you all along. They will see that your waiting was not wasted. They will see that your pain was not pointless. I am crowning you, not for survival, but for victory. You survived the breaking, you endured the silence, you stood through betrayal, and you worshipped through warfare. Now you will thrive in fulfillment. The angels who watched you in the valley are now rejoicing at your ascent. The heavens are applauding because the assignment you thought was over has only just begun. The years the locusts devoured, I am restoring them in abundance. Not just in the material realm, but in joy, peace, purpose, and divine connection. You will look back and say, truly, every heartbreak was worth the healing. Every delay was worth the direction. Every loss was worth the lesson. Every test was worth the testimony. For this is the truth I want you to remember, I never make empty promises. I never speak without fulfilling my word. If I said you would rise, you will rise. If I said you would be restored, you will be restored. If I said I would make your name great for my glory, I will. You are stepping into divine inheritance, where faith turns into fulfillment, where prayers become manifestations, and where obedience transforms into dominion. So now, walk boldly into your promise. Walk with confidence, not pride. Walk with vision, not fear. Walk knowing that heaven is backing you. For you are no longer waiting, you are walking in it. Your story is no longer one of survival, it is one of divine establishment. You are planted like a tree by living waters. Your fruit will not wither. Your leaf will not fade. Your path will shine brighter with every step. And when others ask how you made it, you will simply say, it was God all along. For I have written your story with the ink of grace. I have signed your destiny with the seal of victory. And I have anointed your voice to declare, the Lord has done great things for me, and I am glad. So arise now, walk in your inheritance. Let joy be your song. Let peace be your companion. Let purpose be your direction. For the kingdom of heaven is within you, and your time has come to reign, not as the broken one, but as the chosen one. This is your season of divine fulfillment. This is your moment of heavenly completion. This is your time to shine as the reflection of my glory on earth. Go forth, child of God, for you are the living proof that faith works, that obedience leads to destiny, and that those who trust me will never be put to shame.